Hey everyone, so today I'm gonna go try some cultivated meat here in Singapore for the first time. Quite excited about it. I'm not gonna do a big hype video where I'm going to do the first taste, and I just want to go and honestly enjoy the experience for what it is. I will take some photos and show you what my dish looks like. Really, what I'm trying to get from this experience is start this YouTube channel because I saw this technology and it looks like this is a technology that's going to have a massive impact on the future. And now is a great time to get involved because no one really seems to be talking about it yet. So that was the impetus for me starting the channel. But at some point, you actually have to try the product to see where the technology is. What I'm looking for is what I expect. It's chicken, tastes great, and the texture's there. Yeah, there can be a lot of hype on these things. So in the case of the Very Dairy Milk product that we covered in the last video, that one was not one-to-one with 2% homogenized cow's milk. Is this chicken going to be one-to-one with chicken? Here we are, here's Hoover's. Hoover's itself is an incredible butchery, but also a supermarket. They have a bistro and restaurant attached to that. So there's an outdoor seating area and an indoor seating area. They had all of us who are trying good meat in the indoor area. It looked from when I was there that they have about 10 to 15 people in there at a time. And then the amount of chicken we were given was about a chicken wing's worth of chicken. So if you multiply that among the, let's say, 15 people, you have about 15 chicken wings worth of cultivated chicken that they're serving every Thursday. Quite a modest amount. It does give them some very interesting, I would suspect, feedback on market perception. On the table here, they have your menu where you can choose between the chicken sandwich and then a chicken pasta dish. I chose the chicken pasta dish because I thought that would let me just isolate the chicken a bit better to actually do a taste. And so I chose that. And then on the back of the card, they have a good little blurb about just teaching customers about their cultivated meat. So my initial reaction is, wow, I can't believe we have the technology to manufacture meat without killing an animal. Our current manufacturing process is that we kill an animal, take their meat, and eat that. New manufacturing process is we grow the cells to make the meat. The meat's the same. I tried it. It's incredible. Taste, 10/10. Texture is there. So I give it a 10 out of 10 because it meets my expectations for what is chicken. Now there's a few differences, so I'm going to get into the details and I'm actually going to show you what it looks like. But as far as I'm concerned, we're there with the technology and we just now need to scale it up for the products with which we have the texture ready, the flavors there, and then of course we're wanting to develop the additional products. Of course, there's still a long way to go, and I'm expecting that this is going to continue to evolve over the next 1 to 2 decades. We're not obviously there with a lot of products yet, but we're there with what I had in Singapore, and I think as a proof of concept, we can show that the technology is ready. It's just so incredible. So that's my initial reaction. Now let's get into the details, and I'll talk a little bit more about how I'm kind of seeing this play out. This is the pasta dish. So we had pasta with grilled vegetables, and you can see the cultivated chicken on top. Now if we get in a bit closer with the camera, we can see some of the texture of the chicken meat, and we can see there is skin. Now I want to look a bit more at the details. So again, the taste, it tastes just like chicken. It is chicken. And here we can see a close-up of one of those slices. They were quite thinly sliced. and we can see we have the texture of the meat. It pulls apart just like chicken does, just like you would expect it to. And along the edge of the meat, we have very, very crispy chicken skin. And so there's a little bit of fat as well, that at least what it seemed like to me. I don't know if there actually is, but it seemed like there's a little bit of fat and just connective tissue connecting the skin to the meat as well. So incredible texture. The texture of the skin was so crispy, really, really good. And the best way for me to describe eating this piece of chicken that you see on the screen was that it was a fried chicken wing. So you had a very crispy texture of that skin, and then the nice soft meaty meat of the center. What was really interesting about this is the skin itself was very, very crispy and very, just incredibly flavorful. The texture of the meat was softer and it seemed less stringy than conventional chicken to me. I guess in my head, one of the comparisons that I'm kind of making is between like a white chicken breast meat, which can be a bit tougher and quite chewy. And as I was telling some friends about this, they were asking, well, is this more like can they make dark meat and can they make white meat? I don't know what you would classify this as, but I would say it maybe is a bit of a mix between the two, maybe more on the dark meat side. So incredibly tender, quite soft, definitely softer than a white meat chicken breast, and not as chewy or as stringy or as tough as a white meat chicken breast. But yeah, I would say probably more similar to like a softer dark meat. Um, yeah, it was a bit hard to tell because, again, as you can see from these photos, the slices of chicken we got were quite thin. And so it wasn't like eating a nice big juicy chicken breast. I don't know what product this is. Good Meat is working on different products. So like a chicken breast product, they have the chicken kebab, they have chicken skin. From my perspective, it really was identical to a chicken wing without the bone that had been chopped up. Yeah, it was delicious. One of the other really interesting things I found was that the skin itself was so incredibly flavorful in comparison to the meat. It was just kind of a surreal moment while I was eating this, just thinking, wow, this is real chicken, but it didn't actually come from a chicken. And so that's my first reaction. And so I'm just having all these thoughts about, wow, okay, Leje Gafford in one of his recent talks was talking about one of the exciting things that he was looking forward to was like flavor enhanced products. So like the best salmon you could ever have or the best chicken you could ever have. And so one of the things I thought about when I was eating this was, okay, this chicken tastes like a chicken wing. You have the crispy skin and you have this meat, but the skin was so much more flavorful than the meat. The meat itself is very flavorful as well, but it was a lot lighter, more like a chicken breast, like not as strong of a flavor, whereas the skin was very strong in flavor. I could kind of picture what a more chickeny chicken would be like. I don't know how to explain this, but incredible. I'm just blown away that this is real meat, but not from an animal. If we're looking then to other types of chicken, other cuts of chicken, do they have the technology to make the texture for a chicken breast? That would be the combination between taste and texture that you just have to get right for each of those specific applications. We have one instance of chicken that is a success. And based on that, I think there's just so many interesting possibilities. What kind of meat do we want to eat? What kind of meat do people like to eat? Can we change the texture and the flavor to tailor to people who like different flavors or different textures? There's just so many possibilities. Yeah, that's really my thoughts right now. That's all I have today. So I'm Chris, and we'll see you in the next video.